Hello, everybody. We are back in the And Here's Modi studio with Periel, Ashen Brand.
Oh, Modi learned my name yesterday.
Yeah,
Mazel
yesterday.
tov.
Yeah, Ashen and a brand, like a brand of like a
Yeah.
merchandise brand, Ashen Brand. Okay,
Like Gucci.
there's
That's
no
what I
brand.
kept
There's no
saying.
There's no t. And then and Leo Vega. We are here.
What's
in
up?
What?
I said, what's up?
What's up? So we're here, and I hope everybody's doing well. This is probably catching you guys after the holidays or in between all the holidays. I hope you have had an unbelievable time with your families, friends, and just creating Mashiach energy and preparing for the new year, the Rosh Hashanah. It's still you still feel Rosh Hashanah weeks after Rosh Hashanah, you know?
How long? Like, would they say, like, with January 1st, you're not allowed to wish people, like, a Happy New Year until, like, after January 4th? It's just
I'm
annoying.
fully wishing people Happy New Year for Rosh Hashanah well into Yom Kippur.
Yeah. Oh, deep into
I always do it.
Also into Sukkot, which is afterwards.
Really?
Yeah.
When Sukkot?
The after 4 days after.
They're just back
just
to back to back.
to back.
It's so insane.
And then Simchas Torah, and then Shmini Atzeret, and then
The who?
Yeah, all of them. They're all the holidays, and
What was the last one?
Shmini Atzeret.
What? That's not a thing.
That's the holiday where we take out our sofas. And we
Stop
put,
it
yes,
right now.
No. We take out our sofas and we put them out in the street, and then we air them and we put them back in the house. That's Shmini Atzeret.
Okay.
He's fucking with you.
He is fucking with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You are.
We need to make the curses here.
Did you just make
Of course,
that?
I made that up. I'm not sitting here explaining Shmini Atzeret.
We have a lot to cover. Can we not
let's
like
get
go
to
down
it.
the
Let's
rabbit
get to
hole
it. Let's
of Jewish
get- what you-
holidays?
Okay. What was it?
I'm on like 2 hours of sleep and half a cold brew. So let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
You said you had plans for this episode.
No. I have like backup questions that I've jotted down in my notes app on our travels. But maybe we should start with our travels.
You should. Starting with Monica.
Well, starting with Australia.
Oh.
Did we not do
discuss
Australia?
Australia?
I think.
Yeah, I discussed it
think
with
we
L11.
did.
I had an
Oh.
11 session. I tell him about, but I didn't tell.
Well, I wasn't there, so it doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Yeah, we were in Australia, and it was.
Thank you, Australia. Thank you, Melbourne. And thank
Melbourne.
you, Sydney.
So,
That was great. Then we came home briefly.
Wait, that's Australia.
Then
Thank
we-
you, Melbourne.
We're
Thank you,
just
Sydney.
I'm trying to
Tell me one amazing thing. You guys flew to the other side of planet Earth.
everybody that lives in Australia invited us for Shabbat or
Oh.
to their homes or to
Mhm.
restaurants or to they all
very welcoming, very nice.
very welcoming.
The shows were amazing. They were very appreciative that we had made the schlep. It is a schlep. If you've never done it, brace yourself. But now the good news is once we have done that,
We'll never do
we-
it again. No, we'll
That's
do it
not
again.
true.
We'll do it again.
no, but
differently.
then the flight to Tel Aviv the next week was like nothing. You're like New York to Tel Aviv. You're like, okay, what? Bring it on. Like it was.
everyone in Australia is like, you Americans with your long trip. Oh, it's 3-hour long trip. Are you guys crazy? When they get on a plane, it's at least 9 hours
Yeah.
to anywhere near them.
Yeah.
So for them to like,
They'll go
when,
to
when
Bali,
we say,
that's
oh, I'm
it.
going to go to Florida, but it's only 2.5. It's a 2.5 hour plan. I don't feel like schlepping in 2.5 hours. They don't. They look at us like we're crazy. They get on planes like it's nothing. Some of them come back and forth to America 4 times a year. But if you do it right, you go to LA, you take a few days there, it's whatever. There's a million conversations on how to get to Australia, but you can get there and it's
So I thought we were going to kill the downtime between Australia and Tel Aviv and the Maldives, but then the Maldives banned Israeli passports. So we came home for like 5 business days from Australia, just enough time to like maybe not be jet lagged anymore. And then we boomeranged on over to Tel Aviv when you did 2,600 people at the
Echal HaTarbut, the Brofman Center, also known as the Israeli Philharmonic.
period.
Period.
Beautiful.
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 It was
and
so
weren't you
amazing.
inducted into a museum?
I was inducted into the museum named Anu. It's a museum that
Of
is
the Jewish
on-
people.
Yeah,
I love that.
it was
so
so
much.
cute. It was it is a beautiful. It is a gorgeous museum on the campus of Tel Aviv University, and it's really funny because on the campus of Tel Aviv University, you have buildings and like vibes of like 1960. And then you have like brand new gorgeous buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And this museum is brand new gorgeous. And before I was inducted there, we had a whole day of just, pictures and ceremony and PR and all that. And then there's this guy who is a doctor of MD, PhD, everything of humor. And the
He's like a brain. He studies the brain,
neurology,
specifically the humor, like humor and comedy.
with humor, neurological study. He was at Columbia University. He's especially with Jewish humor, and he has this podcast called
Comedians
on Campus, and the studio that they film in, their podcast studio is a studio that was built in 1960 on Tel Aviv campus. It's like where I guess they had their
campus radio station.
Yeah, the campus radio station.
Wow.
And you feel it.
Yeah.
And they had albums hanging on the wall from 1960s. And it's so funny because I don't know if you saw the video of us with the house in Connecticut where I bought the albums from my mother's house.
Yeah.
2 of those albums are hanging on
so cool.
the Eurovision 72 and then this Festival Shirei Eladim, this festival of Israeli Jewish kids songs. And they were hanging there right after we opened up the albums in the house in Connecticut.
Yeah, so you were inducted into the exhibition on Jewish humor. You're officially featured in 2 sections of the museum on 2 different floors. One is the permanent exhibition on Jewish humor, where they're playing a clip of your special on a loop.
Yeah.
And then also downstairs, there's like a bigger exhibition that I think they said they're also going to keep now that's become so popular. And you have another clip of your special playing
I
on
need
a
to
loop.
go to this museum immediately.
Yeah.
That sounds so amazing. Can I put something in this podcast out in the world? I have been meaning to tell you this for like a year. There is an Israeli comedian that we have to get on this show. His name is Udi Kagan. You know who he is?
No.
Okay. He has a show that is you will be on the floor crying. Guy has to sit next to me and like explain a little bit. And you know what it's called?
What?
Mashiach.
Oh, really?
I just want whoever is listening to this podcast, please.
Maybe
make your magic.
We did a podcast with this Israeli comedian called Ben Baruch.
Okay.
And he's like the most Sephardi guy in the world. He's like the Joe Rogan of Israel. And he was so cute. He sent a car for us. And this beautiful Mercedes sent like,
Chic,
and
love
brought us
already.
into this part of Yafo that was like, we're going to be killed. We are going to
No, I was like, oh, we're the new hostages.
We're the new hostages. It looked like the scariest thing I ever saw in Israel. Like a garage type of a thing, but like, then we walked in, obviously, he was a gorgeous studio he made, and he was a huge fan, and he was so far. And first of all, I spoke to him in Hebrew, and he told me afterwards, he's like, I was so scared. I didn't know you spoke Hebrew.
Yeah, all the comments were like shook that you were fluent in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to tell you something. I watched that video, and it's not that I didn't know that you were so fluent in Hebrew, but I was really impressed at how good your Hebrew is.
Okay. For the record, I didn't speak English until like very later, and like even in high school and even in school, and
even now sometimes.
Even now, right? No, we spoke Hebrew in the house. It's not like it was our house
but it's
was
been a
Hebrew.
long time, and
No, but
my
you use
parents
it
are
every
still
day.
alive. My
Yeah.
parents, I do not speak English with my parents. We don't speak English. My parents.
Your sisters speak Hebrew as well as you.
Yes. Yes, my sister went to university in Israel. I mean, we speak Hebrew. That's our language. And English happens to be just because we live here. Anyway, we did this thing with Ben Baruch, and it was so funny. And he was a great podcaster, and and it's adorable. My mom listened to the podcast and to his podcast, and of course she comes with her opinion. She's like, it's very funny. It goes, how does he make money? He doesn't have sponsors. He doesn't have, because he said like, I have to plug my shows now because I don't have an A&H Provisions, which provides the top quality kosher meats, especially hot dogs. Seth, our friend, you can reach them at kosherdogs.net. Promo code Modi for 30% off, and they really are amazing.
Glot kosher.
Glot kosher foods, period. Glot kosher provisions. So he said to me, I don't have an A&H, and I also don't have a Whites in Luxembourg, the law firm that not only does well, they do good philanthropically. And our friend of the podcast, Arthur, and of course, Randy, his wife, who listens to it and reports to him what we talk about. So he said to me, he goes, I don't have, he goes, Leanne, I don't have sponsors. I got to tell them when my shows are. And then he was so cute. And Leo came in and poor Leo's, it was a 2-hour podcast. And Leo's just sitting there, you know, and how much can you be on Twitter? So we brought Leo in. And it was very cute. It was very, very cute.
And how was the vibe in Israel? Was it...
How was the vibe for you in Israel?
I mean, you had 2,600 people come out to your show, and we did the thing, and it was amazing and beautiful. And then we left, and then the next day it was like the airport was closed. There's bombs. There's the Iron Dome being deployed again. So it's just like we literally got in and out to do the show just in time.
We came in for 4 days. We had a few things to do, and we did them all, and we saw family, and then we did the show. You know, they send an email to everybody the day of the show that the show is not canceled. Then before the show begins, they make an announcement. If a siren does go off during the show and bombs us, stay in your seats. The building is protected under certain concrete whatever walls. And here's Modi.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
Literally. Like when if Tel Aviv is being bombed, just sit in your seat. Don't panic and run. And
that is so insane.
it's so insane.
And Modi's on stage like, ta-da!
Good to be here. It was so much fun because it was a show that I was able to first I was dropping Hebrew everywhere.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Everybody knew what I was talking about, and I talked about being in Chetz Vakeshet, which is this
like the Boy Scouts.
It's like it's kind of, is it the Boy Scouts?
Is it? It's like the Tzofim.
It's the army. The army has a division called Hagadna, which is the youth.
You were in the army?
I wasn't not in the army.
Wait a second. You served in the army?
No, he did not. No, let him finish the story. He did not.
That's a very quick no you just gave.
He was basically an Eagle Scout. Let's keep it moving.
Let's not belittle my contribution to the Israeli IDF.
All right.
There was a program for kids like you, literally like you and me, whose parents are Israeli that were here, and they went back to for the summer. I'm trying to make this so people understand without belittling it. It's like a teen tour in Israel for kids of Israeli parents.
Okay.
And it's b'mizgeret tzva'i.
Okay.
Within an army frame.
Okay.
So we stayed on army bases. We slept on army bases, and we
slept with army men.
So that was one of the jokes. So and then we went all over Israel and saw Israel within within the frame of the military.
Okay.
So my joke is they know what this is. Like here I am explaining to you, but they know what it is. So I didn't have to the whole buildup of explain. So I said, so basically, here I am, 16 years old, undiagnosed homosexual, and my mom says to me, "Hey, do you want to go for the summer and live in the barracks with Israeli soldiers?" I'm like, "Sounds good to me." And that was the kind of humor that we were doing in that show because they got it on like another level. You know, it was so good.
It must be so fun.
It was definitely a highlight show of my career. Definitely a highlight show of my career. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And then we flew to Monaco. It was a hard cut. It was a hard cut. I have to talk about the Monaco show too. Wait, so here we are in Israel. We're leaving in the afternoon. The country is now, end of August, so it has that whole film of desert and dust on everything. The cars are all dirty. No one's even bothering.
That's not just because the end of August. That's year round.
No. At the end of the summer, the country's
Okay.
extra deserty. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, and the end of the summer, and the weight of the war,
Yeah.
and the weight of the war, and even though the restaurants are packed, people are talking about the war.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's
Yeah.
not like the vibe. It's a different vibe. And the looming war that's about to happen in up north and all of that stuff. And then we get on a plane, we land in Nice, and are driven in this Maybach into Monaco.
I literally cannot.
It's so out there.
And I was thinking the last time I did the Tel Aviv Charles de Gaulle leg on an airplane was on October 7th.
That's right.
So it was a little triggering.
So
Was it softened by the fact that you moved into a veritable fucking chateau?
It
do you guys
softened the
understand
blow a
whenever you
little
say
bit.
the F word, that means it's something we cannot use in a clip?
No, we can
No.
bleep it out.
Okay.
Do you understand the way that clips work?
Yeah.
No.
Do you understand how any of this works?
Wait.
Okay, sorry. So you went to
So we go. We get.
Monaco was a private event.
Monaco is a private event, and I'm gonna tell you what it was, and a big fat yeshikoyach, a good for the bride. The bride, I'm gonna give her a big yeshikoyach. This bride said, "What am I gonna make my wedding?" It's that whole circuit of people that do weddings, like where it's a destination wedding in Capri, in Saint Tropez,
Yeah.
in Bucks. Anyway, so she's like, my future husband, my groom, is a big Modi fan. So yeah, he's a big Modi fan. So I'm gonna bring Modi to the wedding.
That is so amazingly cool.
Amazingly cool. She passes the whole thing on to the party planner. Banana Split party planning out of London. Amazing. They're great.
Professionals.
Professionals.
Great name.
Period. Banana Split.
Shout out to Sasha.
Yeah. Leo, of course, falls in love with the party planner.
Besties.
We get to so I said to her, besides me emceeing the wedding, which is all they brought me in. They didn't bring me in to do comedy.
No, he didn't do any comedy. He was
Did
just
the
there.
crew knew you were coming?
No.
No.
And
Stop it.
he surprised him in the chuppah.
No.
Yeah,
That's
Modi
what it
walked
was.
into the chuppah while they were doing.
To do the seventh blessing.
Oh
So
my
I said,
God.
okay, so this was a surprise. So here I am. We were staying this
And
stunning
then Leo's in the
hotel.
back of the room. Just like
yeah,
all
so
this
this-
happening.
Eating like canapé.
No, Leo's making sure everything's happening right. He's communicating with everybody. The hotel that all the guests were staying at was Hotel de Paris from like the James Bond movie. We were on the other side, this gorgeous hotel, the Metropole, and facing it. It was beautiful, but no one saw us from the party because otherwise it had blown the surprise. Anyway, the next we have the wedding. They pick us up and they hold us in the car a few meters down from where everybody was entering into the synagogue, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm in there and I have to pee. So I asked the driver, I go, can I go pee in the corner? He goes, no, there's cameras everywhere in Monaco. The police will come right away. Monaco is watched, every inch is being watched at every moment, period. Okay? Anyway, I said, I want to hear the ceremony before I go on.
Wait, where did you pee?
I went into the synagogue before I went on. We go into the synagogue, and I want to hear the whole ceremony. I want to hear what the rabbi says. I want to hear the whole thing and who else is doing the blessings. And the rabbi, when I give you know your audience, did not know your audience. He didn't get it. No, I'm not gonna. He just didn't. He didn't. Look at this room. They're not religious. They're not. Get to the point.
Okay.
My chuppahs are only 18 minutes gag. If I'm doing a chuppah, if I'm the Masada Kedushin and the chuppah, 18 minutes max. No,
How much longer can
You
you
don't-
go on for?
he did a whole thing for the ketubah reading. He did a whole thing he gave a Dvar Torah that no one followed. Period. Nobody followed this.
Do you
Dvar
love
Torah.
this critique of the rabbi sermon?
Awful. And then he brings me on. So that he goes, and now for the seventh blessing, I don't even know who this is. This is a surprise guest. And I walk in with the yearly coat. Do you understand?
Yes.
The room is dying because they all know who I am. And the groom, he didn't set them up where the groom and bride are facing the audience, which is what I do.
Yeah.
They're back to us. And he was on top of that. I don't know what minhag, what tradition he has, that they hold the talis over their head. So all you're seeing is a sheet. Awful way to do a chuppah.
Awful. And bad for pictures.
Awful.
Oh yeah, that's what the party planner said. They were like,
the worst.
the whole video is just the back of their heads.
It's
Terrible.
so stupid.
Yeah.
Terrible.
He didn't know how to do it. He's probably
Okay.
probably doesn't do a lot of weddings. And doesn't know how to do it like as good as I do a wedding.
Okay.
Anyway, I walk in there. My opening line was, can I say the names?
Probably not.
Okay, I'll just say,
Say Periel and Guy.
Periel, Guy. I wish that your love, your marriage, and your lives last as long as this ceremony. I was like, this is a whole... And then the rabbi whispers in my ear, because you're not allowed to speak between the blessings. And he says, you in the dabar, you can't speak. He's giving me the and I said to him, I don't need your help.
Well, that was just the ceremony, and then we went to the reception, and I thought, well, I didn't think, I knew beforehand, but like when we booked this, I thought they were gonna have you do like a whole comedy thing at the reception.
No.
They just wanted you to vibe with them. You introduced like some speeches, but you didn't do any.
They asked me in the thing. It said that, and it's like they paid a nice price. So they said,
Oh, wait, very nice
just to
price.
invite people into the.
This is like a great gig for you.
And there's a reason there's a Mashiach energy story in this too.
There is also a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
There's a lot. There's a lot happening.
There's a lot was going on. First of all, it was just fun to have me there. There were fans there.
Yeah,
people.
no,
It
fantastic.
brought an element into the wedding, but also the father of the bride before the wedding didn't feel well and couldn't make the wedding.
Oh.
So having
He did
me
not
there,
feel well. He collapsed like 2 days before the wedding and was in the hospital right before this like multi-million-dollar wedding of his daughter.
Right. So I was just trying to make it a little more or less, because it is somebody's wedding we're talking about.
We haven't named names though.
Yeah. And like me being there was kind of a distraction.
You're
from
like,
that.
it's like very Beyonce for you guys.
I don't know if this Beyonce. I was not Beyonce. I didn't sing
I
a
don't think
song.
Beyonce's
No,
doing.
And there was no fan at my hair.
Okay.
I'll get you one if you want. You're right here.
But like one of the things that they asked me to do, would you mind inviting everybody from the garden? There's a patio into the wedding.
Into
I
the
said,
dinner.
Sure, I didn't care. I went out there and I go, ladies and gentlemen, and this is obviously in Monaco where they speak French. I go, ladies and gentlemen, please now enter into the ballroom where we'll begin the ceremony. And then I just go, and just start to make up French. And that's when everybody just starts to, what is he saying? And it was a great night. And they're such a cute couple, and she's such a great vibe, and she's a huge fan of Leo from the podcast. They all loved Leo. And it was really funny because the groom was Bukharian, like Victoria, all right? And so you have like these Bukharian women, and then you have like these Monaco, England women. It was really, really, it was an amazing event.
And how long did you guys stay in Monaco?
Like
3 days.
2.5 days.
And
Yeah.
did you at some point start to imagine, like, I could live here?
True to form, I did. It was mostly on the yachts. I was like, I could live on that. I could live there. But it was beautiful. I mean, at one point I sat on a bench on the street, like a bus stop bench, just to get my bearings. And I sat on it, and just even with my clothes on, I could tell how clean it was. I was like, oh, someone just they just put polish on this?
It's
Like
so
you could
clean.
eat off of the sidewalk. It's like there's not a speck of anything anywhere, not even a piece of gum on the sidewalk. It's like It looks like a sound stage.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've been there.
Yeah, I have been there.
Wow.
But I mean, like, like 20 years ago, but I was looking at your pictures from Monaco and I was like, what is going on here? It's so
And Gad
gorgeous.
Amalek sent us to a restaurant. He took care of us. Like his friends brought us to their restaurant, and it was really, really. It was an amazing.
It's
It
beautiful.
was a bleep.
I love it.
Yeah, it
I
was
love
very,
it.
very, very fun.
So,
Okay.
Instagram has released a feature where we can insert a poll, like ask people questions in the caption, and people can like interactively vote. So I
Okay.
thought it would be cute if we made some questions or posed some topics that people could weigh in on the comments, now that we've built out a separate Instagram page for the podcast, which we're working on expanding. And I'm also trying to build out a website. The Instagram page, just so everyone has the reference, is AHM_podcast. AHM as in and here's Modi. So I wrote down some random thoughts I had as we were like in these airport lounges, on these planes, going to and from shows, that I wanted to talk about.
Well, let's hear them.
Let's hear him.
So here's one of them.
Yes.
Am I supposed to offer help to women on airplanes with their luggage, putting it in the overhead bin?
100%.
No.
Interesting, because I have been offering and I have gotten shot down and with like some dirty looks as well. Like I
No,
can
it's
do this
nice.
myself.
No.
Okay.
No. It's nice.
Folks at home, weigh in. Should
Okay.
me, an able-bodied, strapping young man, be helping any one of the female persuasion with
Okay.
their bags in the overhead bin?
Okay.
Obviously, if they're like elderly, I'm gonna
Yep.
do it without hesitation. But I mean, like anyone else besides that.
So you need to have a set.
Keep in mind, I have 5 sisters, and I'm used to doing that and helping.
Keep in mind, I'm on the other side of you, and sometimes I tell you, Leo, help her out because she's a mess. You're already in your chair, and I see an elderly woman coming in with the bag, and
which I'm
there's
happy
no
to
way-
do. For
That's
the
And
record,
Leo
different.
pops out of the chair and picks it up for them.
That's very sweet.
It's more like you're in the scenario of like, should I get up for this person in the subway?
no.
Or it might make them feel like that they look old.
Right. Well, also sometimes it's just not even an older female. It's like a girl my age, and she's like, I can do it myself. Like I don't need you, and I don't want you to talk to me.
You
I
might
don't know.
be
Then that
protected.
I think that's
You said I shouldn't be helping them. That was your answer
I
initially.
don't think you should feel obligated to help them.
Oh no, I
think-
don't feel obligated, but like, is there a world in which a woman would be like you as like would be offended by that?
No,
Like,
not
no.
only women, also men. To pick up your luggage and put it over your head. We exercise, so we know how to pick up a weight over our head. These are people who might not have put something
Right.
over their head.
for the record, on the last flight, I did sit there and help like 5 people in a row, like
Right.
I was working on the airplane. Okay, so I'm not,
Right.
I'm not
Wait.
not helping people.
The stewardess sometimes asks you.
Flight
the,
attendant.
the flight attendants sometimes say, "Would you mind helping us?" Because they know it's going to be a heavy
Right,
thing.
the
to
answer
put
to
over
that
their-
is no.
No, I'll help. I'm
The
always.
flight
I'm happy to help. I just had 1 or 2 interactions where they were like with younger women,
No.
and
It's nice.
and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to help you with that?" And they were like, "I got it." And I was like,
Speaking of-
that's okay.
Speaking of airplanes and France, I just want to tell you guys 2 things. Number one, I just came back from Paris, which is the most gorgeous city ever. And I went to Chabour, which is a Saf Granit's restaurant, his Michelin star Israeli restaurant in Paris. And I just want to give a shout out to everyone there. It was so amazing. You know, I've been on this kick where like I'm only going to Israeli restaurants since
Okay.
October 7th. And I thought of you guys because I flew on La Compagnie, which is an all business class airline, straight New York, Paris. That's it.
Good for Guy for taking you out
Chic.
like a
Guy didn't
proper-
take me
Oh,
out.
I've heard of La Compagnie. I have not booked it, but so it's JFK to
It's Newark to Orly,
okay,
and it is
but
chic.
yeah,
Is
I've
it?
looked at it. I've looked into it. So good.
And Guy
good to
did
know.
not take me. I went with my best girlfriend.
oh, okay.
And
okay,
Guy was
okay.
like, "What? What are you nuts?"
I have another question
Go
relating
ahead.
to luggage. I'm sorry.
"No, but the luggage thing is
so-
always offer to help."
So okay, so on the inverse, Now we've landed and we're getting out of the car or Uber and we're at the hotel. The bellhops. I don't want help in that situation. I'm okay with my own bags. And in fact, I actually don't want them. I don't want my bags disappearing from view and then reappearing in my room. I want my bags with me. I can hold them. Also, I may or may not have cash on me to tip the bellhop. So what do you feel about that? Like when I get out of the car and they're like, sure. And then I'm like, no, I got it. Like, is that
fine.
okay?
Yeah, that's
Again,
fine.
Baruch Hashem, thank God we are both men that are strong and able to maneuver. We're able to maneuver Leo's knapsack, by the way, weighs 480 pounds.
Well, you carry around the laptop then and everything.
Okay,
that I
but I'm
need.
just
You do
saying.
not-
Wait. Let me finish the thought. And we have
Sorry.
the roller bag and we have the large
The
bag,
checked bag.
all on wheels. We can manage to do it together. For example, I remember one time getting to the Four Seasons with Arthur Luxembourg. He has no even conception of ever touching his luggage. So
I just don't-
So it's a different.
I don't want the
complete-
interaction. I don't want them following us up to our room or like where they do it, where they take the bags and the bags show up
Yeah, but
later.
you say you got it.
Or when and then you have to like hold the door open for them so they can bring your
No,
bags
you're
into the room. Like,
fine.
I don't like that whole, even at a fancy hotel, we stay at really nice hotels. Like, I don't want them doing that for me.
Okay,
That's fine. You don't have to.
All you gotta do, all we
So
do
what
is we just say I got
do
it.
you have the bellhops help you with your bag or do you take it? We'll add
That's the
that.
question you're
Well,
asking.
I'm going to
My
splice all these up as questions to
Okay,
ask
so
people.
so
My
the first-
answer is I like to get out of the car like I'm a princess.
That
and-
doesn't
and
surprise
not,
anyone.
And not see anything and then have it all.
I'm a princess too, but I'm an able-bodied princess.
Yeah,
Which-
but
you
then
should
you
say
have to
Baruch Hashem, so
schlep.
you can do that. Other
Okay,
people can't.
Baruch Hashem. I'm just
They
asking
can't.
questions that pop into my head. Okay.
Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
So what are the questions that they have to answer? Do you want help from the bellhop? And
No, I'm going to splice these up and then I'm going to put them on the Instagram page for
And
the
the people
podcast
can
and they can answer them in the
Yay.
poll.
okay,
I have a travel related question.
No.
Go ahead.
Luggage.
Yep.
yeah.
One of our travel partners I clocked had a Rimowa suitcase.
Overrated, expensive for no
Yep.
reason.
Nope.
They're nice. They're aesthetically, but Modi has a hard line on hard shell suit luggage.
It's a no.
It's
Big fat
inefficient.
no.
Yeah, all of our luggage is the soft shelled Samsonite.
Yeah.
Why?
A, it's much lighter. B,
Yeah.
you buy a sweater in a duty free, or you decide last minute you want to grab something, or you don't want to wear the sweater you wore on the plane. You open it up and you slip it in, and it always is able.
The
to
Rimowa
expand.
is like, what am I breaking into a safe right now? It's
Right.
like, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's also like
But do you like them?
I think that they look amazing.
No, they look
They look
amazing.
great.
And I also like their accessories. They have like phone cases and like little purses that are like
but
cute.
it's like
in terms of,
$2,000 for a suitcase that you're checking that might get lost. And
exactly.
the thing that annoyed me was that because they get banged up,
Yeah.
right? And so they're
course.
saying like, oh, the more banged up it is, like the cooler it is.
No.
And I was like, what? That is such.
You don't need to buy
marketing.
high-end luggage. We travel so much.
I
We're on so
know.
many airplanes.
Suitcase
We have
is-
Samsonites that are the nice Samsonites, like and they have taken a beating and they look good and they're
Okay,
fine. And
get
that's
that
all
makes
you
me
need.
feel
Wait, the
better.
suitcases in Israel, they come out.
They like
first
fly.
The first one came out. I don't know what speed it came out at, but it fell into the belt and then flipped over onto the floor. The
Yeah.
first one from the flight. Boom, boom, right out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is something that came into my head when we were in Fire Island during our last trip. So Fire Island is a collection of share houses that people rent for like weeks or at a time. And they're nice houses. The house that we stayed at was actually listed on Zillow for $3.5 million. So it's a nice house that you're renting. And what happens is maybe the people the week before you leave some groceries there. Like maybe they'll leave an unopened almond milk or like something in the pantry. But they do a clean out, they
Yes.
reset everything. I found a jar of peanut butter. I love peanut butter.
Yes.
In the pantry that I could tell only had like one little knife scoop popped out of it. Do you eat that peanut butter?
100%.
Or is that gone? You don't know whose knife that
Is
was.
it
Or
absolutely not. That goes right into the garbage.
What's wrong with you?
Somebody could have. I mean, I won't even say the thing.
She doesn't know the culture of Fire Island.
I know the culture of Fire Island.
So just
very
let's
well.
take Fire Island out of the
And
equation.
that's why
The
I'm saying.
the culture of. So here's what happens.
Let's take
Get-
Fire Island out of the equation. You get to
No.
a nice Airbnb. Sometimes in the Airbnbs, there's stuff in the
different-
pantry.
No, then the answer is then you're not asking the same question
All right.
now.
See, I'm
not
glad
asking
I'm
the same
causing drama,
question.
stirring the pot. This is
Not-
more engaging.
When
you know?
you get to Fire Island, you have the people that you're in the house with. You do the first pantry run. We go to the store
Yeah.
and there's a pantry, and
The pantry's the
everybody buys
grocery store.
everything. And we, by the way, for example, we were staying with Chris Hesney, who
You're saying that like I'm supposed to know who
he's
that is.
he's like a big party.
We should
fan.
have him on the podcast.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, is
he
this
was-
the guy who lays out like all of the candies for Halloween?
Yes.
Yes. He went to the pantry and dropped $1,300 worth of shtus. He bought everything that wasn't nailed down. He bought and
That's just him, though.
No, that's just him. So there was so much food. The week after we were there, the people didn't have to go to the pantry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
different
We bought
though.
everything.
Like that's a completely different thing. If I knew that the two of you were the people staying there,
But
I would
still.
eat the
Yeah, but you
food.
don't know the people who were there
Anybody
before
that's
you.
staying there, okay, it's everybody's staying in this house. This is a very
It's a-
nice house.
Yeah, it wasn't like, it's
So
not
what
going to be like a.
filthy people can stay in very nice
It's not-
Because
houses?
someone chopped with a spoon.
Yeah, but they probably have all their shots, no, you think?
I don't know.
If you're staying at a.
It's into the garbage.
It's one little like knife mark, like they made one sandwich maybe.
Do you clean the sheets before?
The
Oh,
sheets
the
are
sheets
clean.
are
The sheets are-
clean, the towels are
everything's
clean.
crystal
Yeah, yeah,
clean.
The whole
yeah.
house is
No, the
reset.
house is completely set, gorgeous, cleaned, wiped
it's
down.
dicey.
The fridge, and the pantry. There's
I found this
Left-
like it was like up here. I was like,
Would
oh,
you
this
drink
is
an open
nice.
almond milk?
No,
Why not?
because what if they put their mouth on it to drink from it? Like sometimes I
What
do
if
at
they
home.
stuck their fingers in the peanut butter?
Or worse, what if they?
That-
stuck
well, I
something
didn't want to
else in
say
their
that because I didn't
peanut
want to
butter?
make him upset.
No, but it
I-
wasn't in that shape. Okay,
It
the
wasn't
peanut
bad,
butter.
but it was-
Everyone
it's-
could
it's
weigh
when
in.
you get to an Airbnb, and there's Airbnb. If it's closed, you'd use it, but,
If it's closed, fine.
salt and pepper in an Airbnb, you'd use.
That's different.
You'd use.
That's
It's
different.
different because you don't stick your fingers in
Or a utensil.
or something else.
Let's see.
Okay.
It sparked conversation. Shorts on an airplane. Thoughts?
Never, ever.
Is
Ever,
it
never,
okay
ever.
for men to wear shorts on an
It
airplane?
is not.
How about, while we're here, open-toed shoes on an
No.
airplane?
Absolutely not.
Flip-flops.
I
Sandals,
understand. I'm going to say this
anything of the
in
sort.
in a loving way. People who wear shorts on airplanes are people who are. It's usually people who are very. I don't know how the right way to say this.
Uh-oh.
Um,
Just say it and I'll fix it. A memoir by Leo
they're
Vega.
obese. They're heavy people. People who are heavy wear shorts.
How
'cause
are you going to
pants are
fix
very-
that?
'cause
I
pants-
feel like that's fine. You're saying that's
pants-
usually heavier people who
Yeah,
tend
they're
to do
just
that.
easy for
I
them
don't
to
think
put a
that's
pair of shorts
true.
on, and they're sitting there, and they got to the plane. They had
Okay,
to put
now
their
what's
thing up.
happening is your back thigh sweat
So gross.
is marinating
Yeah.
into this pleather
Yeah.
United Airlines
so
flight seat.
absolutely wrong.
If I see you walking through an airport with shorts and open-toed shoes, it's such a red flag. If you have TSA pre-check, it should be revoked from you. That's what I feel. You're
I
a
don't think
danger
it's
to
that
society.
It's that much, but it blows my mind because they're like, I'm like, oh, they must be flying to Aruba, and they're
Yeah.
No, they're
They
not.
want to land already, but they're flying with us
They're
from
not.
Newark to Seattle,
They're
Wait.
not.
and they're in shorts.
Wait a second. What about not putting your shoes on the plane to go to the bathroom?
Okay, different beast on all.
Do
on another
people
level.
do that?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. People do that, and by the way, the floor of the bathroom is full of urine.
I might have to leave.
Full of urine.
No, do you know what? That's so crazy because yesterday I was at Equinox and someone in the locker room walked straight out of the shower, towel around their waist to the urinal,
Yep.
barefoot,
Ew.
and peed. You know, the whole 2-foot
Ugh.
radius around the urinal is
Deny.
just piss. Like there's just wet floor of urine. They're just standing in a puddle of piss, peeing in a
Okay.
towel. I was like, oh
So
my God.
can I add to that?
What, do you do that sometimes?
No,
Are you coming out of the
I would never, ever. It's in front of the urinal. It's all pishy. It's all pishy. I remember.
Yeah,
one
what's
time,
wrong with us? Why
I
can't we
remember
aim?
one time- I remember one time I was going in there into the steam room, and I saw a guy that was at the urinal. Then he was in the steam room next to me, he was massaging his feet
Oh.
and then like also rubbing his face.
Ew.
I was
Yikes.
yikes. I was nauseous from
I
that.
I specifically choose the shoes that I'm wearing on the airplane based on the ease of which I can slip them on and off to go to the bathroom because I am peeing 4 times on a transatlantic flight at least.
Yeah. I have my shoes that set so when I get to if I go to the bathroom, I just slip them right in, go to the bathroom and come back because the floor is literally a puddle.
Illstein.
Even in like the in business.
Of course.
So gross.
Illstein.
I just want to tell you guys that one of my closest friends from childhood is a flight attendant and has been a flight attendant for like 25 years. And the stories that she tells me
I can't imagine.
are the most appalling thing. I mean, the way that people behave.
Yeah, all rules are out the window somehow when you're 30,000 feet.
It's changed. You guys, but like flying before 9/11 and flying after 9/11 are two different beasts.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll never forget one time on an El Al flight 100 years ago. We were sitting in the back, and they bring the smoking section was hopping. It was like the smoking section was just like everybody's just time cigarettes. Those horrible time cigarettes. Those Israeli
they had like
brands.
Kids on their lap.
Kids on their lap, like into the I love you. Right into the wait, but they serve the food and they like the flight attendants know like let me just leave the food in front of them at least a few more minutes if they can't move. No. Everybody gets up and brings their tray into the kitchen.
I have never felt more claustrophobic than when I'm done with my food and the flight attendant hasn't gotten it out of my face yet. I'm like itching until that happens.
So here's the question.
Yeah.
Can you push
No.
I have done it. I have done it. Yeah. If I could tell that's what they're doing and they're done serving, everyone's eating and I'm just eating. I just ate faster than everyone. I'm hitting the button.
You are.
Get it out.
It would take so much for me to hit that button. It would take so much for
That's
me
surprising because I feel like we would be opposites in this situation.
No, I know I'm very good at doing eye contact with the flight attendant. I'm like, and she'll come over. I'm very good at that.
You won't
even when they're on purpose not making eye contact with the people.
So what is that? Just an emergency button?
No, it's for like you need something. The new announcements, if you pay attention on the in-flight safety videos, say if you lose your mobile device in your seat, please hit the button and let us know right away because with the lithium batteries that are in the phones now that can break and catch on fire if you like recline your seat and snap your phone in half.
Was that the reason why they did
that?
But it's different. You guys are always in business or first class. It's very different in the economy.
I feel like economy people, this is my presidential platform. Even if you're flying in economy, you have the right to press the flight attendant button.
You can press it, but like she'll
no
come and stick her middle finger up
No one's
at
coming
you.
back there. You can press the button in economy. No one's coming to visit you.
First of all, you have not been in economy in years. Let me tell you somebody who bridges that gap.
Yeah.
The way that you are, the difference between how you are treated in first or business class and economy is so appalling.
I know, but I will say, I love when I'm getting on like a long haul flight and there's 2 separate doors on the plane. And they don't have to walk by me. Like we get in on the front and they get in on the back and we don't have to sit there and watch everyone walk by us.
Sneezing on us.
And then people go, they paid too much for their seats. And I'm like, tell yourself that, toots, while you're in 3060.
No, if you fly once
people
a
make
year,
comments.
If we fly once a year, you don't need to be, you're okay. We're flying every week.
No, you guys would have broken backs.
Beast.
So let's see. I have some other things that I wrote down. When you go to the hotel gym and there's like a bowl of fruit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's eating that? Are you eating that? Are you eating that? It's usually like a green apple.
It's a green apple.
It's a green apple and like a banana. Are people eating those or is that
banana,
just
yes.
for visuals?
A green apple, no. A banana, yes. I've even had tangerines, but not.
Okay, so your answer is yes.
Open skin fruit.
Who's eating at the hotel gym?
Well, that's another. So that's my. Why is there
We
fruit
take
in the
water.
hotel
We take
gym?
water from there. They offer you
Fine.
water. We have the
Water
water's
is
okay.
different.
But if one time I had a tangerine, it just was nice. It was closed, and then I opened it, tangerine, and then a banana, 100%, but not like an apple or a pear.
Well, weigh in, guys. Weigh in. What about your valuables? Do you put it in the safe?
Yes,
Yeah.
we put our valuables in.
Well, if you're in the
Has-
hotel gym, you're going from your room down. What valuables?
No. Just in general. Like,
What, do we utilize the safe in the hotel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes.
100%.
you think that people
I didn't do
might
that before
steal?
traveling with you, just because maybe I didn't have nice things. But
Passport and watches.
no, but even my passport, I was like, it's in my backpack. It's fine.
If we're in some city where like it's like don't walk out with your nice watch, then I'm like,
When are you in a city like that? Where are you going?
We were, I don't know. There's places you don't want. They tell you don't do it. L.A. They said don't walk with a nice watch outside. There's a whole bunch of places now that like you look.
I know my friend just got his Rolex stolen in Barcelona.
Yeah, like that.
Like that in
Yeah.
Barcelona. I'm not gonna walk around with a watch.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
Go ahead.
what's something in your diet that if a doctor tomorrow was like, you have to cut this out, would be really hard for you? Like if I went to the doctor tomorrow and they were like, we ran some tests and actually you can't have one more bite of peanut butter or you'll drop dead. I think it might be a problem for me. Is there anything in your diet?
Of course, his answer is no.
No.
What about you?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, coffee, obviously. Oh yeah. Coffee would be very hard.
See,
Coffee.
I'm emotionally attached to coffee as well, but I think if in that situation I could drop it.
No, we'd manage. You'd figure it out. And
So
you'd get your
coffee.
body.
But you think
yeah.
most people's answer is coffee?
I think most people's answer would be it's going to be coffee.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that was sparked by the question of the peanut butter in the Fire Island house.
Oh.
Spilled wax on pants at restaurant? Question mark.
Wow.
Okay, here's the situation. I'll set the scene for you. It was my birthday dinner. We're at a nice restaurant. It's me, Modi, and two of my best friends. We're having a great time. We've ordered cocktails. We ordered a lot of food. I'm wearing a very cute outfit. The pants cost $300. I'm only saying that because it's relevant to later on in the story. About midway through the meal, the waiter walks by and knocks a giant votive candle that had been burning for hours, the whole night, so it's like completely liquid, all down my pants.
Oh.
Like completely all down my pants. Like I didn't get burned, but like the pants are ruined. There's
That
no
is
saving the
terrible.
pants. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And then he brought out some wine pairings to like as a sorry.
A taste of wine for all four
yeah,
of
it
us.
wasn't like a glass of wine. It was like the one where they give you where they pour for you to make sure that you're okay with the bottle before they pour the
Yeah.
rest. You're like that amount. And we weren't even drinking wine, so it was like kind of odd. But I was like, okay, fine, and I didn't make a big deal about it. And then I was like, maybe they'll take something off the check. They didn't.
Nothing.
So then it was an expensive check. It was like a nice meal, okay? And then so then I called the restaurant the next day.
Good.
And I was very calm. I wasn't like, I didn't Karen out on them. I was just like, hey, I ate at your restaurant last night. The meal was great. I was with some friends. I was celebrating my birthday. I just wanted to let you know I had this situation with my pants. And he couldn't be less interested.
We have a good dry cleaning here
he
in
goes,
Morris, Connecticut.
Yeah, why don't you bring it to my
Really?
dry cleaner? I'll see what I can do.
Why aren't you saying the name of the restaurant?
I
We're
said,
not. No, because we might be going back there. This is in Connecticut, and there's a delicious restaurant. But
They should.
they're not catching the again.
Are they cleaning your pants and
So they
giving it
said
back
go-
to you?
go-
And
there's no
offering-
saving the
There's no
pants.
savings.
There's
I
no
can't
saving
explain
the
to you.
well, then
pants.
they should
Wax is
replace
like
the pants.
it's already.
Should they replace the pants?
Of course, they should replace the pants.
At the very least, they should have like comped a lot of the meal.
or
don't you think?
offer you to come back for a meal.
Right. That's what
Right.
I was expecting. I thought he would be like,
It's outrageous.
hey, I can't retroactively do this or that, but like, let me know next time you're coming in. I'll take care of you.
Yeah.
1,000%. The thing
He
is,
didn't have it. He didn't have it.
No. Well,
He
who
didn't-
did you talk to?
The manager.
manager.
Okay, well, the manager's an idiot, and you need to
Okay.
talk to the owner. And by the way, if he had said, I'm so sorry, I'm going to offer to buy you a new pair of pants, you probably would have said no. Like, I'm not going to make you guys do that. Like, I don't want the waiter to have to
Oh no, I
be
would.
penalized.
No, look, accidents happen. I don't want the
Right.
waiter to have to pay.
So that's what I'm saying.
But I was just like, Am I crazy or is
No,
this not
you
how
need
this
to
should have
kick
been
this
handled?
up. No, that's infuriating.
It was
actually,
not like it was the entire thing spilled all
It was a lot of
over.
wax.
It's a lot of
It was
wax,
like
and
a-
it's like seeped in, and it's like it's already oily.
I've already given my answer, and it's
Okay,
final.
so that's it. So that's what we do.
Folks, what do you do in that situation? Do you send them the dry
You
cleaning
understand-
bill?
do you understand this audience is gonna
Do
our
you-
audience will pull right up in front, shove this thing in the manager's face. Do you see what this is?
Do you send
have a
them
dry
the
cleaner for
pants in the
this?
mail with a ominous note? What do you do?
I would bring the pants. I would actually show up there with the pants.
And do you know what?
I will. Well, next time we go there,
Good.
or maybe to a restaurant next door and
Maybe
just bring this
you
to him. Hi,
shouldn't.
we were gonna come here, but this is what happened
Maybe
last time.
he shouldn't do that. Like, comedian Modi shows up at
Yeah.
Connecticut restaurant
Oh, that
with
shouldn't
stained
be-
pants.
Yeah,
That's not
it
good.
was a very nice restaurant. I mean, it was delicious. So I want to go back. So I have to be nice.
But also, you don't want to feel like.
No.
How do they not get it?
No, that's insane.
I think that's all the random thoughts that popped in my head that I had written down.
No, that's good. That's what's jiggling around your head. We
I mean, did we cover Connecticut on here at all?
no.
Avoided.
Avoid maybe next
Avoid-
time.
okay.
Next time.
Redacted.
Yeah.
Redacted.
That's it. We are on
Do you
tour.
wanna,
We are on tour. We are on tour. By the time this is, you
Should I
guys
read
hear
the
this-
Should I read the cities like really fast? It's a lot of cities.
Go ahead. ModiLive.com for all the tickets. Find a city near you. Find a city near your friends. Send them the link. Be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show. That just creates Mashiach energy. We are in Houston, Austin, Baltimore, Hartford.
Can I just let me do it in chronological order?
Okay,
That's-
chronological
yeah.
order.
Okay, Zurich, London, Skokie, 2 shows in Skokie, Illinois. St. Paul, Minnesota, Montreal, Quebec, 2 shows. Denver, Colorado, New York at the Beacon Theater, 3 shows. That's a big deal, guys. That's going to be a big.
2 sold out.
2 of them are
one
sold
left.
out. The 17th still has tickets available.
December 17th, Beacon.
Just to reiterate, that's December 17, 18, 19 at the Beacon Theater in New York City. Then we're in Austin, Texas in January, followed by Houston, Phoenix, Arizona in early February, Tampa, then Fort Lauderdale. We've added 3 shows in Fort Lauderdale. We might be adding another show in Fort Lauderdale. Those
Yes.
tickets are flying. That's February 16 and 17 right now.
Yep.
Hold on, I have to hit load more on your website. That's how many dates we have. Then we go back to London for the Palladium again on
Yes.
February 27th for everyone who couldn't get tickets the first time. Then we're in Baltimore on March 2nd, Las Vegas March 8th, Los Angeles. Everyone's been asking me for LA tickets. This is your chance. We're at the Wiltern Theater March 20th. Then Hartford, Connecticut, March 23rd, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and finally finishing off in Toronto on March 30th at the Queen Elizabeth Theater.
Wow.
Yes, that is the Pause for Laughter comedy tour. Again, all tickets are available on ModiLive.com. I hope all of you had an amazing holiday, are having amazing holidays. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you to our sponsors, A&H and Whites in Luxembourg, and everybody. Lots and lots of Mashiach energy. Enjoy it and create it. Thank you.
Bye.